You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
Roper Cup, absolutely supremely important. Two of the greatest schools in Jamaica, meeting, sharing fellowship, always showing the current generation that you can be great rivals off the field, but even better rivals on it, and it's really about us always showing the generations, Georgians, KC, Fortis. It's all about us giving back, all of us being mentors through sports. We always try our best to impart onto the boys values for life. So someone like myself, someone like the KC Old Boys, I'm clearly representing the better side of North Street. And we're really, really close across the road, so might as well continue the tradition and go forward.
The rivalry between KC and St. George's College has been around way longer than I have. Days of Sabina Park, which was kind of in between both schools, where the Royal Battle of North Street always took place. Over time, it lost a little of its flair, but easily we're getting back to those days now. As you see, the interest has grown significantly over the past few years. It is always important that there be harmony between the two schools. This has not always been the case over the years. The Roper Cup is a fun day. The Roper Cup is the day that St. George's College and Kingston College get to have fun in the sun with a competitive edge. It is always a good day. The Manning Cup match is always seen as the feature for the day, although I think the over 35s tend to have more of a competition going on. All the matches, it has been expanded now to include also our under 14 and under 16 teams, so it's an entire day of football. I don't think there are any two schools in the country that can boast the type of rivalry that Kingston College and St. George's College, being only 100 meters apart, can boast. It is always good competition, it is always fun, not only for the footballers, but for us, the old boys, as well.
It is indeed my honor and my pleasure to welcome you to this media launch of Roper Cup 2019. This competition between Kingston College and St. George's College, North Street rivals and friends. With Kingston College hosting this year, a very special welcome to my colleagues from across the road. At this time though, I would like to call upon Mr. Stuart Jacobs, who is the president of the Kingston College PTA, to bring greetings from the Fortis family to everyone here.
A very good morning. It is once again a pleasure to stand there and bring greetings on behalf of KC to usher in another Roper Cup. In total, 37 Manning Cup have been won between Kingston College and St. George's College, 37. When you look at it, a quick math, it's close to a third of all the Manning Cups that have been played. And it is also, it's going to be somewhat of a phenomenon on Saturday, because the two finalists of last year's Manning Cup will be playing, basically opening the football season. Because with all of the other cups that have gone on over the summer, it is the Roper Cup that really kicks off the schoolboy football in Jamaica. No other event. I look around and I see people who have worked very hard and they have extended themselves as parents at both schools. Look at Mr. Latour, Donovan Jermaine, even Patrick Dallas. A lot of us, even Patrick Dallas, Dr. Foot, extended ourselves as parents. And it is events such as these that we live for. We live for these moments because it is where we sit and watch our youngsters do the things that God has entrusted on them, which is called talent. Also, in order for them to do it, they would have to have coaches who we as parents trust to hone these talents. And by extension, a school will send them to have it happen. It just happened that Father Jack Roper, a Jesuit priest, coach at St. George's College, did extremely well and carried George's to a couple championship, and that school and KC came together and said, let's recognize him. And I asked it last year, and I'm going to challenge my Georgians to find, I did find someone who is still alive, who is related to Father Jack Roper, because posthumously, I think he should be honored next year when Georges host it. Because we use his name every year, and a lot of people, I know a lot of the players who are playing don't know who Father Jack Roper is. Father Jack Roper was a wonderful human being and did quite a bit at St. George's College, and for football in Jamaica, and for North Street. And speaking of North Street, I would like for us to do some sort of research, somewhat, to see which street in this country or anywhere else has produced the amount of sportsmen and superstars, both academia and on the track and on the field, than North Street. Less than 200 meters apart. And Kingston College and St. George's College have contributed so much to the landscape of this country. It's unbelievable. We will forever be grateful to St. George's College. And Kingston College, I'm speaking from the KC family, we will forever be grateful to St. George's College. Because out of St. George's College and the teaching of the Jesuits there, Bishop Gibson was honed and developed. But I guess after going to George's for 8 years, 7 years, he realized that Jamaica really needed another school, a real school. But on a serious note, we are always neighbors, we're always brothers, and we'll never ever forget what St. George's College has done for us. The Roper Cup does that each year. The Roper Cup takes us back in time. The Roper Cup brings us to a humility, a humble state, that regardless of the rivalry that we will have in the next couple of months for the Manning Cup, we will meet on a day and have friendly rivalry, and both schools will look at each other, the under 16, the under 14, and the present Manning Cup, and under 25 and over 35, and look at the past and enjoy it and appreciate it, and look at what is happening now, and hope that two schools will once again be in the finals at the Manning Cup. I wish for both schools all the best. I wish for the Roper Cup committee all the best, and from the parents of KC and the KC family, we are more than happy to host you on the day and look forward to a wonderful event. I thank you.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Principal sends her apologies. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend. Boy, so far so good. We've had such great deliveries from the Fortis Brethren, so we need to add some color to the proceedings right now. Right, so this year is an important year for St. George's. We celebrate 170 years of existence of our schools. I mean, Casey should know that very well, because Casey is half as young and half as good. So you should know that it's 170 years for us, you know. Now, also, on October the 18th, we celebrate our Monsignor Gladstone Wilson Awards. And for those of you who don't know, Monsignor Gladstone Wilson was, at the time of his being around on earth, one of the 7 most learned persons in the world, a Jamaican, a man of North Street, yeah? Definitely, we need to always celebrate that. So it is important, as Brother Jacob said, well, he said that, you know, we hope to be we are going to be in the final, you know, so we hope that you come join us again like last year. I mean, so ladies and gentlemen, we always look forward to Roper Cup. It's a teaching moment for us where we can always show the young men that regardless of the banter, regardless of whatever we may say along the way, it really is about friendly rivalry and camaraderie. We know that persons traditionally don't attend St. George's College, don't attend Casey, but they say, boy, Casey is them side or George's is them side. Because they wish they could be like us. They want to be a part of us, so we definitely look forward to Roper Cup to continually show the wider Jamaica what it is to be, you know, a man for others, you know, never yielding, always being a Jamaican and living forward as a true testament of what we should do. So I thank you for having us. I thank you for being great hosts, of course. The Roper Cup is on top of our cabinet over by St. George's. I'll dust it off a bit and I'll put it back after the matches on the Saturday. All right, so cheers to all.
This bug of fake news has got to Jamaica. It has got here because if the Roper Cup trophy is at St. George's, when I leave here, I need to stop at Halfway Tree Police Station. But I think what might have happened, I remember there's a time, I think it was 2 years ago, we shared the trophy. And it was agreed that St. George's would keep it for 6 months and Casey for 6 months. We said to George's, since we know that next year we're going to take it anywhere, so George's, please, you can keep it for the first 6 months. Bring it to us, right? And what has happened is that they did not bring it back, but I would have thought that Bishop Gibson, just Bishop Gibson's legacy, would have spared you from speaking like that this morning. Well, anyway, please polish it off. Yes, thank you. Right. And now to bring greetings and a message from the principal of Kingston College. Representing here this morning is Ainsworth Walker, our vice principal.
Good morning, all. Coming from the other side of North Street, I think I'm in a very good position to bring the message of Kingston College that will balance the rivalry that will make us all equal. You get that? It is indeed our hope that we will retain the excellent performance bestowed upon us from Bishop Gibson's days into today's finals. And so from the family of Kingston College, and especially the principal, it is our hope that this year will be no different from next year. And so, when the dust is settled and the trophy is returned from Roper Cup to Manning Cup, then Mr. Latour, you will have nothing to fear. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the principal of Kingston College, teachers, staff, and students, we're looking forward to a game that will bring us together and a future that we will all talk about. Thank you.
And now may I call upon the president of the St. George's College Old Boys Association to bring his greetings.
Thank you, Dr. Dallas. Distinguished Fortis and my St. George's College brethren, good morning. This never gets boring. Every year we gather for the Roper Cup. It is fun, it is very serious rivalry, and I think Dr. Dallas made a very bold statement last year, which, by the grace of God, came true. The collaboration between Casey and St. George's College. Yes, Dr. Dallas? Yes, sir. Take a bow. Very bold at the time. Almost arrogant, I thought. Almost arrogant. However, like I said, it is what it is. After 32. But now that we've addressed the elephant in the room, now that the dust has settled, Roper Cup, year 1, Casey and St. George's College. I think probably the first time ever that it would be considered a grudge match. Yes? So not that we don't always have excellent football and even more camaraderie. When Casey hosts, for sure, refreshments are always on top. Of that we are sure. But more importantly, we've seen this year where the collaboration has expanded. I think this year, for the first time, we hosted a Labor Day project together as well, where we did the pedestrian crossings in front of both schools. So this is the type of camaraderie and harmony that we want everybody to emulate, because it really is important, given the ills that we see in our society today. So, Stadium East it is, Roper Cup for yet another year. It's almost cliche that we say we look forward to the camaraderie. And of course, this year in particular, Shantamoy, Nathaniel, Jaim. For this year in particular, extremely strong competition.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here. I'm asked to make a presentation on behalf of the President. One of the things I'm happy for is that on previous occasions, I was normally introduced as the President, but thank God it has been corrected that I'm in fact the Vice President. I'm a bit nostalgic in that when I look in the audience and I see Neville Oxford, it brings back great memories to me because I was much younger than Neville, as you can see. But the history of that year's Manny Cup team with Neville, John Parvis, Mouse Brown, Bola Morant, and the rest, it was bring great joy to me. Because the rivalry from then was even strong and still strong. But ladies and gentlemen, after the match is over, we are great friends. And I really want to say to the youngsters now, please just remember that it is like that, and I want it to continue. Great rivalry on the field, but when the match is over, we are great friends. As I said, I was asked to deliver a message on behalf of the President, which goes like this. Last year, Roper Cup was a fantastic celebration for the North Street fans. It was a fantastic celebration of friendly rivalry and a feast of football talent, young and not so young talent. Of course, Casey took home the Roper Cup. We know that Georgians are trying their utmost to regain the cup this year, but they can think again. However, Roper Cup will remain on the right side of North Street. His words. Once again, Casey is pleased to be the host of the Roper Cup, thanks to our North Street brothers for hosting a great event last year. This year we will be at Stadium East, a fitting venue, especially for feature match between the Manning Cup teams, a replay of last year's Manning Cup final. It is also a preview of this year's Super Cup, Walker Cup, and Manning Cup finals. After all, we are looking to keep them all at North Street. The executive of the Old Boys is pleased to host this year's Roper Cup celebrations that provides an opportunity to deepen bonds and collaboration with our North Street neighbors, with whom we have a great history of competition and collaboration. We continue to demonstrate our ability to be rivals and friends at the same time. Importantly, thanks to our sponsors, as without you, the event would not be possible. Thank you for your support and example. Roper Cup 2019 will be exciting and spectacular, and KCOB is proud to be at the helm of this amazing event. That is the message from the president of the Old Boys Association.
We have the under-14 match, Kingston College versus St. George's College. We also have the under-16 Kingston College versus St. George's. The under-35 and the over-35. Of course, those have to be Old Boys because we're talking about Kingston College and St. George's. Then we have the feature match, which is the replay of last year Manning Cup final. The gates open at 9. We start the first match at 10. And we are going to run a tight ship this year because we have decided that the last match, the feature match, must start at 4:30. Understand, the football program in both schools costs a lot of money. The sports program in general. And this is always, most of it is carried by the alumni associations. And so we are trying to get this started at 4:30 so that we can finish the match in good time and everybody see a full 90 minutes of Kingston College Manning Cup team versus St. George's College. But at this time, I would like to call on Mr. Robert O'Sullivan to bring a message on behalf of the sponsors.
Thank you, Patrick. There are 4 main sponsors that I'd like to thank. One is Facial Oral Surgical Association. Lasco, they've donated iCool. Servicare Limited, and apologies for absence, Gary O'Sullivan was unable to make it. Now, just to let you know, Servicare is less than 200 meters across the road there, and it was started by a St. George's College old boy by the name of Gary O'Sullivan. Now, when I was 11 years old, a friend of my mother said, so one of your sons passed for an academic institution and the other a sporting institution. Well, after a few years in the 60s, I couldn't understand why they referred to St. George's as a sporting institution. You know, it is good that corporate Jamaica can come together and assist in the development of young boys. It is so important. As a Kingston College old boy, I feel it important that as we leave school, we try to give back. And this to me is a message to the young boys who are from St. George's College and also from Kingston College. Now, I grew up with a rivalry for over 7 years between my brother from St. George's College, and he felt that I owed him a debt of gratitude because Bishop Gibson founded Kingston College. I had to live with that. But I do have some gratitude, and we have to accept that both institutions are important in Jamaica. A lot of my friends come from St. George's College as well, and we get along fairly well. Now, the sponsor Facial and Oral Surgical Association. I understand that one of the members is also Kingston College Old Boy. And one is a Georgian as well? Yes. So thank you for helping with the young ones. No? Now, LASCO, of course, is a competitor to Qualcare. But in the same way that St. George's College and Kingston College have friendly rivalry, it is the same between ourselves. Now, as Principal, it's a message from Principal Myrie, so correctly noted, extracurricular involvement, like football, go a far way in the development of young boys. It helps them not only in their physical development, but in their ability to analyze and come up with solutions. Now, in addition to that, I think it helps to build character, leadership, because at the end of the day, you want a well-rounded individual, not one who only goes to a sporting institution, but also academic. So again, on behalf of LASCO, Facial and Oral Surgical Associates, Cervicare and Qualcare, greetings, and all the best for the Roper Cup.
Being a part of this program is excellent for us because we're all about youth development, growth, and so we're all about going out, helping youths make their dreams come true and everything. And I mean, we're a fan of what KC has been doing, what St. George's has been doing with football and helping the young men do something with their lives. So we're all about helping. So we're here to sponsor.
For this Roper Cup, we want to make sure that everybody, their nutrition status is up and they're feeling fit as a fiddle. So just to make sure that they have no pains or no aches, we have our VitaloFlex will be, of course, persons will be getting, so to ease the pain, whatever it is from a sprain, whether it be just muscle spasms, they'll be able to utilize our VitaloFlex for that. No excessive burning, that's a lot of persons complain about, but they'll still get that nice feel and the relief from the pain, as well as our Interest Nutrition Shake. So we make sure that their nutrition status is up. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody, they play well and their bodies are able to, you know, reflects everything that they have been consuming. So Interest being the nutrition shake of choice is for athletes for this Roper Cup. So their nutrition up, health up, energy up, everything up. All of it, Interest.
Why have we supported the Roper Cup over the years? It's a mixture of values that we endorse, traditional values. For one, tradition. It's the oldest running rivalry between schoolboys, the football, started in 1963. And it's important for us to recognize traditional values with what all that is happening around us. Virtue, honesty, truth and justice. Apart from the good quality football that is played, those two institutions from North Street, Kingston College and St. George's, we uphold those ideals, and over the years we have tried to transmit those qualities to the students coming in and out. So in addition to good quality football, which others are trying to emulate, but we are the originators and we'll always be the leaders. But in addition to good football and healthy sporting rivalry, we transmit those values which we hope will further itself into the wider society and build a good society.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
As the Atlantic hurricane season continues, the first major system made landfall in the Caribbean recently. We sympathize with our neighbors in the Bahamas and, of course, all those who may have been affected by the system. Inside the magazine today, we hear from the Meteorological Service about things to be mindful of during this season. Hi, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is Jamaica Magazine. The news is on the other side of this message. Stay with us.
Yo, this is We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 3. $20 million is being spent to renovate 5 wards at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. These include wards 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The work includes repairs to ceilings, doors, and lightings, meshing and painting of wards, installation of ceiling fans and hand wash stations, as well as carpentry and masonry work. Chief Executive Officer for the hospital, Dwayne Francis, tells JIS News that funding is being provided by the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA.
It is at an aim to improve the aesthetics on the wards and take the opportunity to address any infrastructural challenges that may be on the ward that we could not have done prior to having our ward being empty.
Mr. Francis says Ward 3 was reopened just last month following renovation activities. 700 farmers from Manchester and St. Elizabeth will receive Global GAP certification training under the Essex Valley Agriculture Development Project. This certification will indicate to consumers that crops being produced on the farms are healthy and safe for consumption. It also signals that the farmers have adopted environmental best practices. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dermot Spence, says this certification is critical to the sustainability of the agriculture sector.
The standard was developed to ensure that farm produce meets the relevant international food safety standard. It includes produce handling, integrated crop management, integrated pest management, quality management systems, hazard analysis, critical control point, and also covers food traceability. And it is also said that certification will enhance export opportunities.
Mr. Spence was speaking at a stakeholders consultancy meeting hosted by the ministry on Monday. Training for the farmers and other stakeholders will begin this month. Upon certification, the farms will be listed on the Global GAP online database, a platform for validated farm data on food safety and sustainability. Global GAP is an internationally recognized set of farm standards dedicated to good agricultural practices. A national school leaving certificate program will be rolled out this academic year by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Under the program, all students who successfully complete their secondary education will be awarded a certificate. This certificate will be more expansive than the school leaving documents currently provided by individual institutions. It will document the students' competencies developed over the 7 years of high school from grades 7 to 13.
Each certificate will be unique to the student. It will reflect the student's behavioral competencies, performance in internal and external examinations, as well as involvement in sports, social and cultural activities. So here we are broadening the scope of the student who receives this certificate.
To receive the National School Leaving Certificate, students will be required to pass mathematics, English language, and at least one skill area, and complete 8 weeks or 320 hours of work experience. Students must also complete at least 7 years of secondary level schooling to receive the certificate. At any other stage, the student will receive a report or a transcript. Also within this academic year, government plans to complete the National School Nutrition Policy. The policy aims to promote healthy eating and physical activity in schools and outline the recommended nutrient standards for meals, snacks, and beverages. It also supports the ban on certain types of sugary drinks in schools, implemented by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in January.
We support the drive by the Ministry of Health, and we are sincerely making an effort to support that policy for the betterment of the health of our children. The ministry is also now working directly with the concessionaires to ensure that they are supporting for students to be fed 5 days a week.
Minister Samuda was speaking at the Ministry of Education's annual back-to-school press conference recently. He said the policy would be submitted to Cabinet for review and approval. Meanwhile, children at the Mount Olivet Boys Home in Walderston, Manchester received well-needed back-to-school supplies and valuable career talk ahead of the new school term. The Jamaica Information Service, along with sponsoring partners, made the presentations during the agency's annual back-to-school visit and career day at the home on Saturday. The youngsters were given school bags, notebooks, pens, and a wide assortment of other supplies.
JIS, I want you to understand, so you're present at Mount Olivet and your commitment, it is paying off.
CEO of the JIS, Donna Marie Rose, says the past 10 years of sponsoring the home has been rewarding.
Corporate social responsibility is very key to all of us here as a core value. And usually we talk about giving back and paying it forward. Without corporate support, we wouldn't be able to do it on our own.
And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has pledged the government support for the people of the Bahamas in this difficult time. The country was hit on Sunday by Category 5 Hurricane Dorian, causing severe flooding and damage to infrastructure. Mr. Holness says the government understands that the damage has been extensive. He's encouraging persons to continue to pray for the people of the Bahamas in this time of great tragedy. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
We turn our attention now to the Office of the Prime Minister to catch up on the happenings of the past week.
$19.5 million contract signed for road development in eastern Jamaica. St. Thomas and Portland to benefit from water system upgrades. And
we will not sit down idly in taking steps to mitigate the crisis our planet is facing due to climate change.
Your government is working.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness last Monday as he signed a contract to develop roads in eastern Jamaica. Worth $19.5 million, the agreement will see to the upgrading of the thoroughfare between Harbour View in St. Andrew and Port Antonio in Portland. The work is being done in phases over 3 years under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. Local contractors will be carrying out the roadworks with supervision coming from developers China Harbour Engineering Company. Once the road infrastructure is in place, the Prime Minister says plans are in place to begin the development of housing solutions in the area.
So the government is going to be moving with the NHT and the National Housing Agency to start developments on lands that we own there or have intentions on. And we call on developers to start looking now to the east to develop the lands that are now made viable.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave assurance last week that his administration has no intention of dissolving the National Works Agency, NWA. That confirmation followed a news report which suggested that he was planning major changes for the agency. Clarifying the news item, Mr. Holness said he had instructed the NWA to improve its service delivery to meet the increasing number of road infrastructure projects that were underway or set to begin shortly. He added that the agency would have to step up its supervision of contractors who are hired to carry out road construction works across the island.
We can't close down the NWA, but we can change how the NWA operates.
While the National Works Agency is making changes, Cabinet has asked the new Procurement Authority for a policy outline which will guide the introduction of performance management contracting.
We know of several contractors who have work. They don't finish. They don't complete it on time, but yet they come back into the process. So there must be a way within the procurement process in which the past performance of contractors feature in their ability to get future work.
Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Darrell Vaz, says residents of St. Thomas and Portland will benefit from upgrades to their water supply systems. Those improvements are to be done simultaneously with the road infrastructure projects to begin in eastern Jamaica later this month. The minister says funding has already been secured.
It means that where there is water, but it's not in the pipes will be run to facilitate the water getting to the communities and the households. And most importantly, where there is no water, provisions will be made to be able to pipe water to communities off of the main thoroughfare that are not getting water at this time.
Still at Jamaica House, the Prime Minister led his cabinet in its first meeting since the summer recess. He used the meeting to get an update from the Jamaica Constabulary Force on traffic management plans for the start of the new school year. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson informed that plans were in place to ensure smooth traffic flow. Prime Minister Holness says a similar meeting will be held with the National Works Agency. The Prime Minister was also in St. Catherine last week, where he broke ground for Phase 4 of the Twickenham Glades housing development. Astrom Building System has been contracted to build 110 two-bedroom single duplex units at a cost of $1.4 billion. The project is scheduled for completion in 16 months.
And this will include civil infrastructure such as roadways, a stormwater drainage system, a potable water distribution network, sewage system, and a boundary wall with restricted access and a guardhouse.
Back at Jamaica House, Prime Minister Andrew Holness chaired a meeting of the National Security Council (NSC) and assured members that the new Bail Act would be submitted to Cabinet this financial year. The Act will provide guidance on the grounds to keep persons in custody without being charged for major criminal offences. The Prime Minister also took time last week to meet with founder of the I Have a Heart Foundation, Abigail Smith. The meeting is a follow-up to a social media conversation between the two recently. Prime Minister Holness lauded the 26-year-old for starting the foundation, which aims to promote, educate, advocate, and increase heart disease awareness on the island. Ms. Smith suffers from the rare heart disease arrhythmogenic right ventricular dysplasia, ARVD. And finally, Prime Minister Holness paid tribute to the passing of two of the nation's icons, Dr. Ken Baugh and Samir Yunus, both of whom died on September 1. The Prime Minister hailed Dr. Baugh as a statesman and true gentleman of politics who exemplified dignity and integrity throughout his public life. He similarly recognized Mr. Yunus as a nation builder, calling him one of the country's great developers of industry. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
How we run go?
Go on, I work on the fitness, man. No, the fitness. I'm a care fitness, man. I'm paying a tax officer.
Oh. Yeah. But you don't have to run, man.
Oh, respect.
No, man. You mean you don't have to go in there, man. You can pay vehicle fitness online.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. THG, I make it easy for you now. You know, so now the excuse.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Respect, man. Hey, you still have to work on your fitness though, you know.
I'm going to deal with it online.
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online.
we are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
The prediction of the hurricane season is an important part of disaster preparedness here in Jamaica. Every year, the Meteorological Service and other relevant agencies collaborate to plan and execute activities that will decrease the likelihood of severe damage. Take a look.
Jamaica, based on its location in the Caribbean basin, is at a position that is vulnerable to the eventualities of a hurricane season. Basically, we are expecting a normal, near normal season. It could go a little above, it could go a little before. What we are projecting is that we will see somewhere between 9 and 15 tropical storms developing. 4 to 8 of these will become hurricanes. That's what is expected. And out of those, we could see 2 to 4 being major hurricanes, meaning they will reach category 3, 4, or 5, creating significant catastrophic damage to the island's infrastructure. We really just have to prepare ourselves for anything that could happen. And these are the numbers that we see here.
The National Works Agency's preparation for the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season has been ongoing. This is evident in the nature and scope of works that the agency has been undertaking island-wide over the last year or more. Just recently, approval was granted for the commencement of works under the GOJ's 2019 Pre-Hurricane Mitigation Program. This involves primarily drain cleaning and debushing activities. The program is the first and one of 3 routine drain cleaning activities which the NAA will undertake during this hurricane season. The agency will carry out maintenance on our drain network during the course of the upcoming 6 months. And as I said earlier, we'll do it in 3 tranches. A total of $99.5 million have been allocated amongst MPs to undertake works in relation to the unclogging of drains and the desilting of channels where their constituents live, work, play, or do business. Where our major projects are concerned, the focus is more on improving existing drainage features as well as having new ones constructed. Extensive drainage improvement works are being or have been carried out along the Mandela Highway, Barbican Road, Hagley Park, Camp Road, work is also taking place there, Constant Spring Road, as well as along the 12.6 kilometer stretch from Ferris to Macfield over in Westmoreland.
ODPEM, as Jamaica's disaster agency, is the heartbeat of our efforts. I urge every Jamaican to pay close attention to its messages and act in accordance with them. The warnings and encouragements to prepare and to better manage our immediate environment should not be seen as a nuisance.
We wish ourselves the best. We wish all of you the best. We wish our Caribbean neighbors the best. As we go through this hurricane season, all of us are vulnerable and all of us need to watch each other's back.
Don't let the heat beat you down. Extremely hot days can affect your health, causing heat stress and heat stroke. Protect yourself. Seek sheltering from the sun and limit outdoor activities to mornings and evenings. Wear light-colored, loose-fitting, breathable fabrics. Hydrate with cool water and avoid sweetened drinks and beverages that contain alcohol. Don't let the heat beat you down.
Once a tropical system starts to pose a threat to the region, and our island in particular, the Met Service takes certain steps and begins to issue severe weather orders. Find out more next.
Tropical Storm Hugo has been upgraded to a hurricane and is expected to impact Jamaica. A hurricane warning is now in effect.
Wait! Did you know there are a few steps that have to be taken before a hurricane advisory is issued? Once a tropical cyclone has formed in the Atlantic or the Caribbean, the Met Service monitors it and puts plans in place in the likelihood that the system will affect Jamaica.
Hugo, we required additional staffing, especially for
These include increasing the number of technical staff working at the National Meteorological Center and the number of upper air observations daily, and ensuring that the weather and technical equipment in the office are fully functional. They are in constant dialogue with the National Hurricane Center in the United States, which provides regular updates on the system. Once the Met Service does an assessment and determines that the system is a threat to Jamaica, the following will unfold.
Yes, Prime Minister Holness. Yes, Evan Thompson here from the Met Service. I'm really just calling to update you on the situation with Hurricane Hugo. It continues to move closer to the island, and so we believe that it will be necessary for us to move to that hurricane warning. So we're just making sure that we have your approval.
Then?
Hello, yes, hurricane specialist, please. Hi, how are you doing? Evan here again from Jamaica. Right, I have just spoken with the Prime Minister. He's in agreement that we go to the hurricane warning by 5 o'clock this evening. That's correct.
The National Hurricane Center publicizes this information internationally, and the Met Service prepares and sends bulletins to the local media. And that is how we get here.
A hurricane warning is now in effect for the island.
And as the country prepares for the weather system, the Met Service continues to play a critical role in the country's disaster readiness, providing information to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and the local government ministry. These entities use this information to determine which areas on the island should be evacuated and where shelters should be opened. That's not all. The Met Service also works closely with the Coast Guard to evacuate fishermen at sea, on the quays and banks before the storm hits. That is how the Met Service keeps Jamaicans in the know so that they can better prepare for any severe weather system.
As vibrant and diverse as our people, so are the rhythms that guide our movement. And as far back in our history as you can go, you'll see that the drums have been a vital part of our musical story. That is why one cultural agency is working to preserve this part of our identity by incorporating young hands. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Drumfest 2019. We are here for Drumfest. This is the premier section for drummers. It's equivalent to the national finals just for drummers. We wanted to improve the standard as well as get more persons involved in drumming and to see, the part it plays in our culture. So we had that Drumfest separated, and once it started, there was no turning back because it caters to a different audience than national finals for instrumentalists and vocalists. Each year it's getting larger and larger. We have a total of 42 competitors, well, 42 competitors in terms of schools, but of course for the ensemble presentations you have, you can have up to 14 persons in a group. We are talking about mostly our young people. We're talking about primary schools, prep schools, high schools, community groups all over Jamaica. We even have semi-professionals who enter the competition. We have some teachers of drums who also group up and enter. We have congas, we have djembes, we also have even the trap sets. We have all types of drums, African drums, Jamaican drums, and we have the auxiliary instruments that we use as well, maracas, we have cowbells. Check our history. From as far back as you can think, our African heritage and drumming. You say drum, you equate that to Africa. So we find that our students naturally, Jamaican students naturally gravitate towards drumming. They play syncopated rhythms just casually. They don't even realize how technical it is, and they don't understand really that what they are doing is not as easy as they think.
We basically come here to just motivate the kids and let them know that good drummers are here that they can learn from and they can actually have a career from this. Most people might not know, or most people might think that you can't have a career from our kind of music, which is hand drumming, but that is not so. Because if you take a look at, for instance, Chronixx and Kabaka Pyramid, they have 2 percussionists on their band.
For me, it's just a way to express how I feel. When you come home from, or when you leave school in the afternoon, you go drum rehearsal, feel good about yourself, release out of stress, and just a way to express yourself creatively and stuff. We've been to a lot of embassies with RD drummers. I really like it because I get to go places and meet a lot of people that are very important. Different experiences, they go all over Jamaica. It's just fun. It's a whole lot, it's a brotherhood because I'm not the only girl. Well, not really the only girl, but there are not a lot of girls. I play djembe, but if we're doing Jamaican rhythms, we play Jamaican drums like congas and stuff.
I also teach it in Ensom City Primary School, and the whole school want to join. Everyone put their hand in the air.
Sir, me can play now. Look here, me can play now.
Like, that's great, motivating and encouraging for us.
I like music and I want to do it in my career. I like that the sounds of the rhythm them and the type of songs I play with the rhythm.
It's nice to play, it encourages me and everybody else and feel the vibes and everything.
We would really want to make it bigger and better. We would want to have better prizes to give to the performers. They have worked really, really hard. And yes, we know they will be getting, trophies at the end, but we have others who are also excellent that we would want to give incentives and so on. So I see the competition going there.
We've come to the end of the show for today. Catch us again tomorrow, same time and same place. As we go, be reminded to send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. You may also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
JAMPRO aims to increase the export of non-traditional products and of course support the development of Jamaican MSMEs. To that end, they've partnered with the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to launch the third installment of Export Max. I'm Theodore Henry for Business Access TV. Stay with us.
It is good to be here, and it's a pleasure joining you for the launch of the third iteration of this program. This morning's event is a fitting tribute to the industry players and signals a great promise for the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and the importance that has been placed on export diversification. This launch seeks to build on the success of Exports Max 1 and 2, which together recorded over $2.2 billion in sales. Indeed, its previous success sets the stage for the implementation of this third iteration, which we are now undertaking on a much larger scale. Let me take this opportunity to commend the JAMPRO on conceptualizing and taking us this far with this program. And let's welcome our new Export Max partners, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. With their strengths, we'll be joining forces to improve and efficiently manage and implement the program. And I'd like to thank our sponsors and future participants. You have signed up for a game-changing program that will have national impact. Jamaica has strong export potential and growing export capacity. The imperative for achieving greater export performance and thus realizing export-led growth and global competitiveness in our exports as part of the export strategy is therefore of extreme importance as we strive for national prosperity and wealth creation. In the globalized economy, it is critical that Jamaica becomes highly organized in order to be fully integrated into the world economy in a manner that allows us to elevate our position on the global value chain and supply chains. Jamaica has been standing still for too long. Standing still while our trading partners have been taking steps to implement best practices for business and trade-friendly environments. This ministry, therefore, through its agencies, is seeking to attain greater diversification in the export industry by achieving higher value addition in priority tech sectors, increasing the value of non-traditional export of goods through increased volume and higher value addition, increasing the contribution of services exports as a percentage of our overall exports, including our creative industries, and increasing penetration in existing markets and accessing new and emerging markets. Let me add to that the specifics, some specifics which I want you to implant in your minds. There are three distinct underdeveloped markets. Let me just mention what those three are. The tourism industry. Too much of the fresh and processed foods that they consume are coming in on the planes with the tourists, and we have the capacity to supply them. Second, CARICOM. 16 countries in CARICOM. All of them are net importers of food, fresh and processed. Yet, we export precious little to CARICOM, and we have the privilege of exporting it duty-free. And what's the third significant market? The Jamaican diaspora. In Canada, the United States, and England, the market is as big as Jamaica. Somebody from London told me recently that because they cannot get what they want in Jamaica, they import the stuff from Africa and slap a Jamaican label on it. Castor oil, by the way. A lot of castor oil that is now being sold internationally with the Jamaica label on it. The raw material is not from Jamaica. Unacceptable. So as government, we are committed to promoting brand Jamaica to the world, identifying new trade and investment opportunities in order to spur economic growth. My ministry will continue to work with critical stakeholders to enable them to capitalize on opportunities in the export market, as more than ever, greater focus must be placed on growing our economy through exports. One of the things that the ministry is committed to doing is changing the soft infrastructure that will support the growth of trading across borders. To this end, a few weeks ago, we launched a trade facilitation portal that will house the information about all the various processes that underpin trading across our borders. It is our vision that the Trade Information Portal will be the central source of information that will ensure that if someone is an exporter, or even if they are dreaming about being an exporter, they need only to visit this one place that will provide them with all the knowledge they need to navigate the trading process. On the heels of this, we are also excited about the progress that we are making in implementing a single trade electronic window for the government, which will see all the various government processes integrated into a single online system that will allow for all trade-related transactions to be done online, supported by a robust risk management system to protect the country's borders and its reputation overseas. And so ExportMax is only one more prong in the government's network of activities that will allow for the framework for each and every exporter to experience success, and ultimately for us to achieve economic growth and prosperity in Jamaica.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
All human life is precious. Respect life. No more senseless killings. No more.
So, welcome. So let me start out by asking Dan, ExportMax, I know ExportMax started within Jampro. Why ExportMax 3 and what makes it different this time around?
Okay, thanks Claude, and good morning ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited to be here at the launch of ExportMax 3. Why are we doing ExportMax 3? It's actually one of the programs that I'm proudest of in my time at Jampro. I think that, as the minister said, export is one of our critical pieces, is critical in our lifeblood. It's in our DNA. We have to export. We're a small island nation. We have tremendous products. We need to take them to the world in a more organized, systematic way where we respect standards, we understand the adaptability of our products to market demands, where we understand the markets that we are trying to penetrate. Export Max is that program. The results that we got out of Export Max 1 and 2 show what a deliberate program can do, where you start by diagnosing what does the product need to be adapted to market demand, what evolution needs to go on in the company itself. So it's not just the product, but it's also the management that must have the right mindset to penetrate international markets. So we're identifying that demand, identifying the market trends, helping the companies to adapt their products, and that mentorship, which we brought on in Export Max 2, is a critical component, because the ones who are successful must help the ones who have not started yet or who have not yet been successful. So that was the innovation of Export Max 2. And what we decided in Export Max 3 is that to more than double the number of companies in the program, we really couldn't do it alone anymore, because Export Max is a really labor-intensive and brain-intensive project. It needs a lot of time spent hand-holding companies, explaining export to them, helping their management to be ready. So we really needed the help of our partners, and we're really, really proud and excited and energized that we have two such fantastic partners, as well as the other sponsors who have come on board, because we need more expertise, we need more hands on deck. Export is not easy. Standards in the international market are constantly becoming more critical, more difficult. So we needed partners on board who could help us to interpret some of the issues on the international market, some of the standards. You see Bureau of Standards is on board, and also to help galvanize those exporters to greater effort and to greater understanding. And then we needed the business development side that JBUC can bring to really help companies to develop their business plans, develop their loan applications, to become more formalized, develop their bookkeeping acumen. We think this is one of the most important programs that JAMPRO and the country have ever created, because we think that this is an integrated way of taking our MSMEs the next step forward. We are very excited, and we just want to have more participation from the MSME community, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and it's when you start on that journey of trying to understand how do I get from point A to point B that you start to realize what it is you don't know and how and where you can find help. So really this is a plea to and a stimulus and an encouragement and almost a demand of the SME sector listening to us today. You need to get on board, because this program can change your life professionally and change your export horizon.
Okay. Valerie, you decided without hesitation, came on board. Why did you see training and capacity building as such important components for exporters?
Our logo speaks for what we do, which is business development in the fulsomeness of it, and how can we help you. So we know for sure that capacity building is even beyond that thing called training. It's really getting into the nitty-gritty of the companies, the enterprises, looking at the concept, if it makes sense, whether local or external market, putting the proper structures in place, and as Dan says, formalizing the business. It means governance have to be in place. You have to know your numbers to know what stories are coming out. Worst, if you're thinking of exporting, you have to be really secure in moving forward. So we have been spending a lot of time with our client group preparing them for the market, because for us, global market is right here in Jamaica. So standards must be in place. Governance must be in place. And you must be thinking business. And I agree with Dan, we have to get over that hump of doing a little thing until some big job comes along, because it's not going to come along. So it means that we have to be innovative and we have to be on target for moving forward. We're going to be looking, as we said, as we had agreed, at all the innovative industries that have the possibilities for export. So food, niche markets, high quality, value-added products, non-food, services, certainly the technology-based industries and the creative industries in all aspects have to be part of that big umbrella. Our mandate is to help them.
Right.
So even if they come and they're not ready for Export Max, it doesn't mean that they can't be in the passageway.
Okay.
So they need not hesitate. They need to come forward. If they're not in that lane, it means you're going to prepare them for whatever is appropriate. So there is no reason to sit and wonder if. You need to come forward and let us work together and see which lane you are really in. And if you happen to move into this fast track, no, that's wonderful. If not, you're on the way to preparation. Because we must export. Dan keeps saying export. I think we have been in coma because we're waiting to die.
When we look at the program, or we look at life, we always like to say nobody born big. We all are a product of training, exposure, and experience. And you almost need all three in the right combination to be successful. So in the area of mentorship and advocacy, I think JMEA coming on board, which will have a portfolio of businesses that are already exporting, play a very important role. So I'd love to hear from you, Metri. Tell us in plain terms, how do you see the JMA supporting this effort and your decision to come on board?
Well, when I heard Diane and Valerie speak, I realized that what we have here is a perfect marriage.
Okay.
2 women and 1 man. No, I'm joking. No, seriously, what we have is a perfect marriage here. Because what we have is the JMEA that has the base of membership. Our membership base is about 400 companies, most of which and many of which are small to medium-sized companies, which is the base that we need. Then we have Valerie, who is going to do the business development process, and then Jumper that's going to deal with the export market. What we bring to the table is a lot of hand-holding. We are about solving problems and solving issues. So they're going to have issues. There's no question about it. I think one of the ways we could say it is that we're a big brother to the companies, and we hold their hands and we walk with them through the process. We just go, Valerie will take them to a particular stage, and then we will take them from there until we're ready to hand them off to Jampro to really go and do the export. But I wanted to say that the JMEA is fully committed to this program. That's why we have joined. We recognize how important it is. And as Diane said, it is probably one of the most important initiatives that any agency in Jamaica has put in place. The numbers speak for themselves, and we hope to be a part of this process going forward for a long time to come.
How does one apply for the program? Could you give some thoughts on that?
Thank you. I was hoping you'd ask that question. We have a kiosk at the back. We have several Jampro members of our team here. We have an expression of interest form, which you can get from our team at the back. Copies of the form are also available from the various agencies and on our website. www.dobusinessjamaica.com. You can download this expression of interest form and send it in, and we will be happy to contact you and start the journey with you, because this is a journey. It's a 3-year program. This is really about helping you through a process and on a journey to success. Tell your associates, people you know who have a product or who even have an idea. They can start talking to JBDC from the idea stage. So let's create a movement that can change export.
Thank you, Dan. So I'll throw it out. Any final thoughts?
This is an example, the collaboration, the example how we in Jamaica should work together. Because no one institution or person has all the skills, all the information. And until we start putting the ego behind the door and working together, we're not going to move. So I'm celebrating from JBDC the kind of collaboration that we have agreed to have between our agencies. I think it's a good move, and we know success is down the lane.
Metri, any final
In
thoughts?
closing, I would ask everybody in this room, when you leave here today, call 5 persons that you know that are in business. Let us be oversubscribed.
Yes.
Let us have that problem. Let us reach back out to our sponsors and tell them that we need more from them, because this is good for Jamaica.
Thank you, Metri.
We have some Export Max graduates in the audience, and I think it's important not only to hear from us, but to hear from people who are actually on the program. So dare I say that Rita Hilton is on his
Yeah, they're going to be on the program. Yeah,
So Rita, Omar, I think you're all going to talk later on. So.
All right, a round of applause for the head of agencies. Thank you very much.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
I'm going to invite some past Export Max participants to speak. Rita Hilton from Carita, Jamaica, and Omar Azan, CEO of Boss Furniture. So in the spirit of ladies first, I'm going to ask Rita Hilton to come and just give a couple of remarks about her experience with Export Max.
I think this is a great opportunity. Having benefited from Export Max 2, I'd like to highlight some of the things that made it so important for me and what the results have been like. It was important for me because it allowed me to step into the Caribbean export market. Carita has been in business for 34 years, and our whole business is aligned with exports. We were primarily involved in fresh produce exports, but recently we've been adding value to Jamaican products and trying to build up that component of bringing more value to Jamaica. Now, with Export Max 2, what did I benefit from? Going into the Caribbean market, which I didn't know at all, and I have to tell you that out of that, we have one concrete market which we opened in the Bahamas. And that partner has been so impressed with our output that they have come with a proposal to invest in our company and buy equity into our company. I learned that I wasn't really completely prepared to take advantage of all the opportunities. So if you're going into Export Max 3, come with an open mind. You think you know it, you don't know it. Learn, absorb, and execute. You need to have a partner on the ground in the territory that you're going to be working with that will teach you about that market and the market needs. It's not Jamaica, and it is not the globe. It is a very special type of market, and each market has its own needs. So keep an open mind, learn from the opportunities. What was wonderful is the amount of work that Jampro put in before we went into the markets. And that was the critical success of the Export Max 2. Into every territory that we went, there were buyers available, and it wasn't the underlings that came to the market opportunities. They were high level personnel that came to talk business and to do business. The other thing that I learned so much from is the capacity building. You think you know how to run a business? Well, you don't, because the way you start is not the way you grow and keep on growing. You see all this white hair? That comes from years and years of learning. I started as a high school teacher, and our exports have reached close to $3 million US. And those are sales. That is not money to spend. That's money that you invest back in your business after you've paid the expenses. So don't think that you've achieved success and can drive a Mercedes-Benz. I still drive a pickup, okay?
I'll just say that for me, for my company, it's been an amazing experience. The team has been behind. There are times when I wasn't even up to doing some of the things, and they came and sat in my office and said, Omar, listen, we need you to get this thing done. And they would push me to do it. Today, I'll say historical. This is our first time in history that our company has receivables. Today, I checked it this morning, from 14 different countries owing me money at the end of this month to pay me, to pay my suppliers, where I think at the end of this month, I can probably pay all the suppliers I owe from just a foreign exchange earning. So that is a huge, huge, huge difference than where I was a few years ago. This is an excellent thing that JAMPRO is doing. I'll say it. You know me, I talk the truth every time I come up on the podiums to speak. And, you know, we need to just get everybody behind this. Our Jamaican people, our staff in our factories, we need to push our exports to get this country going. Thank you.
I am inspired and excited this morning. And I want, on behalf of the entire team, JAMPRO, JMEA, JBDC, I just want to say thank you all for coming out and hearing this program and participating in this launch. So we're going to take you into the Caribbean, Europe, and the USA to sell your goods and services and to return with those all-important contracts and to deliver on the promise that you would have made to be a champion exporter. I expect this program will be a positive, life-changing experience for you and your businesses. So where do we go from here? The steps are very easy. We are inviting all business owners here to complete the registration expression of interest form. Following the expression of interest, you'll be required to complete a more in-depth application form. The deadline for submission will be January 30, 2019. Final selection of our participants will be done by March 15, 2019. And by April, MOUs with all the participants will be signed, and that's when the real work begins. But it will be exciting, it will be fun.
This has been the launch of Export Max 3, and I've been your host, Theodore Henry. Keep watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Do you want to build your company's capacity or export your products or services to new global markets? Then you can be a part of Export Max 3, an enterprise development program for Jamaican companies. Sign up today. Applications close January 31, 2019. Expand your business for export growth. Visit dobusinessjamaica.com for details. Export Max 3, grow beyond borders. It's brought to you by JAMPRO, JMEA, and JBDC.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Fantastic night to be drinking wine. I walked the floor when I came and I counted in excess of about 45 different wines on the floor. So what I'm asking everyone to do is not just to walk up to a booth and ask them, could I get a glass of red? Could I get a glass of white? When you're asking for your wine, please ask them what wine they're pouring. And if you like it, take a picture of it and ultimately buy it, right? Because that's what we want to happen. So, over the last year, several things have happened on the wine scene. I've noticed at least 3 new wine bars or 3 new culinary establishments adding the word wine bar to their names. And so, I think the Observer has made a difference again and continue to raise the bar and raise the discussion about wine in Jamaica. Last year, this time, if I'm correct, Select Brands team, I think last year, uncorked Montego Bay. Just about this time, they opened. So we had our second wine bar in Montego Bay. And just this past week, I noticed something on Instagram talking about Chive or some new restaurant like that. So it's another wine bar. So it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. More folks are drinking wine, more folks are talking about wine. And that's what, I'm happy for that. Without any further ado, I just seriously would like everyone to be trying their wines. My new wine that I tried tonight, seriously. What's the name of that wine? Menage a Trois Gold. First time I'm having that one. Menage, you know what? Let me leave it like that. Menage a Trois Gold Chardonnay from over at the Harbour Wine booth. First time I'm having it. Delicious Chardonnay, crowd pleaser, very fruit forward. Loved it a lot. I've tried all the apothecs, tried it before, and over at the CPJ booth, big powerful red wine, Lalus, I enjoyed that a lot. And then over at the Select Brands, I'm having some Perez Jouet champagne. So folks, please go around, try the wines, ask the name of the wine that you're having, take a picture of it. Please, don't just give me a red, give me a right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Oh, it's evening. Sorry, too much wine. All right, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to Jamaica Observer on another hosting of Salute. At CPJ, what we decided to do this year was go all Italian. So we have 1 Prosecco, we have 3 still wines, which is 2 reds and 1 white. And what we wanted to do was kind of embody what Italy has to represent. So Italy is known for Pinot Grigios, so we have San Angelo Pinot Grigio. We also have Ascot, which is Ascot Bulgarian, which is a mix of Cab Sav and Cab Franc. And we also have Lalus, which is Alboroso. And Alboroso is another variety of grape which really is known in the Italian region. So what we really want to do is embody what Italy has to offer. And all of these wines, except for the Prosecco, comes from a house called Banfi, which is very well known in the Italian region. So that is what we have to offer on that side. So, salute.
I'm sure we're all having a fantastic time. We're all drinking wine, my favorite. And not because I'm the brand manager for Harbour Wines and Spirits, but yes. And for those of you who don't know, Harbour Wines and Spirits is the wines unit in Grace Foods and Services. So yes, we have a wide range of wines, but this evening we want to take you on a little journey, around the world. So we have some sparkling wines. We have the Lunetta Prosecco out of Italy. We also have the Trivento Brut Natural out of Argentina. Then we take it to our still wines. We have, under the Trivento brand again, we have our reserve range. So we have the Pinot Noir being poured this evening. We have our Malbec. And from Vino Maipo, again, we have our reserve range. We're doing a Sauvignon Blanc there. We are also pouring a Carmenere and a Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, Chris mentioned one of the very popular ones. It seems to be the hit at our booth this evening, the Ménage à Trois. We're talking about the wine now. So Ménage à Trois, we have the Gold, which as Chris mentioned earlier is a Chardonnay. We also have the Silk, which is a nice soft red blend. We have the Ménage à Trois Midnight, which it seems we don't have many hands over there to pour because that seems to be the very popular one. And the latest addition to that portfolio is the Ménage à Trois Decadence, which is around a 98% Cabernet Sauvignon. So on behalf of Harbor Wines and Spirits, we want to say salute. Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone. And I'm from Jerry and Neville. I'm the brand manager for the wines portfolio. And tonight we are focusing on a very mysterious brand. It's called Apothic Wines. And if you come and visit our booth, you'll get to understand a little bit about it. Tonight we are focusing on our red blend, our white blend, and our new dark blend. So, yes, I said blend, and again, that's the new trend in wines nowadays, and trust me, it's a very smooth, easy to drink wine, not too sweet, not too dry. And just a little bit about Apothic, we sell about 3 million cases globally. We're doing very well in Jamaica, and it's actually the #1 brand in Canada. Yeah. So, I ask for you guys to come and visit us, to come and taste. There's a lot of interesting things happening at our booth. Come and visit me and ask me what's going on over there and get to know our brands. So Jamaica Observer, thank you very much. Novia, salute.
Welcome my friends in wine. Tonight I'm representing Rush Marketing and we have some beautiful sparkling wines. So as you know, sparkling wine is made with 3 grapes, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. So we have 3 sparklings. We have a beautiful rosé known as Cavalier. It's coming out of France. We have the Chateauneuf. It's a brut, so it's going to be dry on the palate. We also have Carmela, which has been a hit right throughout the night. It's a lovely sparkling Moscato. And then we are going to travel to Argentina, where we'll have a lovely Malbec coming out of the Mendoza region. And then the grape of Spain, Tempranillo. So we have the Don Juan Tempranillo on display as well. So come by our booth, we're right behind here. It's Rush Marketing, and it will be our pleasure to host you, right? So again, Novia, thank you so much for the opportunity, and to all my friends in wine, salute.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. I am Deborah Taylor, Trade Development Manager at Select Brands. And when we looked through our portfolio, it was quite extensive and it was very challenging to decide what to do. But we thought we'd give it a European theme and then we'd throw the curveball in. So out of Italy, we have our Casinento line, a red and white blend in keeping with the blend trend. Then we had our Cavicchioli Prosecco accompanied by the Rosé. And well, at intermittent times we're pouring our delightful Perrier Jouet champagne. And yes, yay indeed. And then, just for good measure, we have included our Montes Outer Limits Sauvignon Blanc, which will blow your mind. So do give it a try.
I just want to quickly use this opportunity to say that education is the new sexy. And if we in the industry don't start demanding good, fantastic, great service, we're never going to get it. And I want us to stop accepting the mediocre service that we've been getting in our restaurants and to start demanding what we're used to getting when we travel. Our standards need to be raised, and I believe that if we don't ask for it, we're not going to get it. So you all know where to find us. We are the approved program providers for the Wines and Spirits Education Trust, or WSET, educational courses, and I want to implore you to encourage everyone to get educated. Service is what our visitors come to the island for, and if our team members are not qualified to deliver, then our product is going to be substandard. And the Jamaica Observer, thank you ever so much for this opportunity and for what you continue to do to raise the bar. We are here to stand beside you, behind you, and support you 100%. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I know I kind of took it another way, but I had to do it because I'm very, very frustrated with our levels of service. Cheers, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like obviously for you to enjoy the music. We've got a great DJ ready to spin some tunes, but obviously we'd like to thank our partners. Do ensure that you have a glass in hand. Thank you very much, Sagicor, the Spanish Court Hotel, Thai Flora, Rainforest Seafoods, CPJ, Harbour Wines, J. Ray and Nephew, Rush Marketing, and Select Brands. On behalf of the Jamaica Observer newspaper, thank you for your support. Do continue to support the only newspaper that really matters. Sorry, did you not hear? The only newspaper that really matters. And thank you very much. Oh, the last of my children. The last has arrived. Salut.
Do you want more experience from your SUV? Introducing the 2020 Nissan X-Trail with leading-edge technology, intelligent ride and chassis control, a round view monitor, and hill start assist for confidence behind the wheel, plus auto headlights and panoramic sunroof. Drive the SUV with more experience. The Nissan X-Trail, available today at Fidelity Motors.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.